What is going on, guys? MikeyRulez here. I'm doing yet another 3DS repair video. As you saw in my last one, we repaired the 3DS charge port, which this works very nicely now. It turns on and everything, thankfully. So now, today we are fixing the left and right bumper pads and little buttons on the inside. Because when I got this, it was all like broken. Alright? So, first things first, you're going to have to remove these 4 screws here. It's not too hard, you're just going to need a small Phillips screwdriver. Very small. Once that's done, you're going to have to peel this off. Don't worry, there's nothing else attached, you're just going to have to lift up this way and then pull out this way. Pretty easy. Now put that somewhere where these 4 screws won't fall out and you won't lose them anywhere. So next, you're going to have to take out the battery here. It's not too hard, there's a little slot here where you should be able to stick your fingernail or something into. Sometimes you might need a little flat head to help you out with that. There you go. Put that in place, you won't lose it. Don't forget to remove the game and the stylus pen. So next, there's a couple of screws around here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 around here. So you're going to have to remove those as well. Now once you've got all of those done and out over here, you're going to want to pull up on this side where the headphone cable is. And be so careful as you don't want to break the charge port, as well as there are small cables, which is where the buttons are going to be, so you're going to want to lift those up carefully, and there you go. Now today we're not going to be working on the main thing, we're going to be working on the back part right here, which is where these small parts will come in handy. This is the actual buttons, and these are the bumpers that increase the size of the button. So, now that you got those, what you're going to want to do is there's 2 screws, one there, on both sides. You want to take those off. Make sure you don't mix them up with any other screw. These ones are smaller, so you shouldn't have too hard of a time picking between which screw to use. And once you got those 4 screws off, you're going to want to take off the black plastic that is covering the top of the button. It's really fragile, so you don't want to break it. So you'll have to be very careful on how you remove it. There you go. You don't want to forget how that piece goes back in. So you're going to want to do the same with the other side. This one's slightly easier. You just have to move the wire out of the way a bit. Forgot another one right there too. So there's 2 on the one side, 3 on this side. Now that should come off easy. What you don't want to lose are these small squares, as there's a couple of them that are around here. See, I've picked up 2 already. Don't forget to put those back in if you just leave them out like I did. So now what you're going to want to do is remove the whole button here. This whole part. Shouldn't be too hard, and because this is something you're going to replace, you don't have to be too careful with it. But you're still going to want to be careful with it, as you don't want to mess up any other parts of the DS. There we go. Now see, this is falling apart. This is not well taken care of. You want to get all these small pieces out of here if it's broken like this. There we go, finally got that small piece out. It was a pain to get, but thankfully I had some tweezers with me to help me out with that situation. So now, what you're going to want to do is open up your brand new package of left and right bumper buttons. Very nice, so brand new. So you're gonna have to be very careful with these, I say as I drop it, because this is what you're gonna want to install onto your DS. So this one is going to be going onto this side over here. You remember where we took it out of, that space right there? We're going to want to slide in this piece here into that same spot. Right. It's a bit tricky, so you're going to have to be careful. There we go. Piece in, not broken or anything, which is good. That's what we want. So next, I'm gonna put in this piece. Where's this one going? Alright. It's always good to look at how things are gonna go in before you do it. So this one you're going to want to put some bends into it, but not folds. You don't want to fold it too much, otherwise it might break the small wires on the inside. It won't work anymore, and all this would be for nothing. Okay, put this piece on this side. Right in there. I'd say this part is the trickiest, as it is brand new and you really don't want to mess it up. So as you're being careful, it's hard to put it in properly sometimes. Working around the camera doesn't help at all. Hang on. There we go. Now that's put on. Thankfully, that took a little bit to do. Alright. So, next you're going to want to get these, the left and right bumpers. Get those out. See, nice untouched pieces. Alright, so you might have noticed this over here, in the small cylindrical piece of metal that you might have saw fall out earlier. That's what's gonna go in through this small hole here, which is how this will stay in place like that, and that pushes on the button. There's one over here already, but this one fell out, so you're going to want to put this back in that spot right there, we go, without breaking this, as well as these small squares, which is where some of the screws went into. These ones are a bit tricky if you have a magnetic screwdriver or something, as they will stick to it. Alright, now that those are in, you don't have to worry about those anymore. Except for this one, it fell out again. There we go. Now, you're just gonna want to make sure that you know which side is which. So, looking at it this way, I can remember that this part goes on like this, and so that would mean this side is the right bumper, which is this one. So you're gonna want to slide that small hole onto that small cylindrical piece of metal we saw earlier. Perfect, until it pokes up like that. You're going to want to do the same on this side, but with the left bumper. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so now you're going to want to put this back on in a way where you won't be bending this unless you have to, because that's what you're going to want to do for a couple of these. That one goes in there, and this one just slides right on top. Over here. Alright, I can tell you right now that this is the hardest piece to do, this black piece. So once you get this button on and in place, you're going to want to take this piece and slide it in like this, and then flat. Once you get to that stage, you're going to know what I'm talking about, but that's really hard to do. So anyways, once that's on, put together, you can hear the clicking. I hope you can. But now you know those are fixed, and they should be working as long as you didn't scratch up these, all the little wires and copper strands on these. So now what you're going to want to do is to put this all back together just the way you found it. But first, you have to have bent these strands into the same way that these ones were bent. That way they'll fit in the same way that they did when they weren't broken. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and once that's done, I'll show you guys what the finished product looks like. Now that those are bent, you can go ahead and attach these to the same pad that you removed them from. Again, carefully, so that you don't mess it up. You can this far. Alright. There we go. All put back together. You just want to slide this on. You're going to want to put on this side first and arrange it so it fits onto your charge port best. And once that fits on, it should all just click in. And there you go. All you gotta do now is just put in all those screws, put the battery back in, and then put this part on, and you're done. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this and would like to see more. Not that I have any more repairs to do on this as of right now. And if I do, I'll be sure to show you guys. And enjoy the rest of your day.